Welcome to the Gear Slum, your one-stop shop for all things Star Culture nonsense. I'm Aaron.
I'm Phil.
And Cole
And
is not
I'm
here.
Cole.
And I'm
Oh,
cool. I'm cool.
I'm cool.
We submit hard so you don't have to. Cole forgot we were recording tonight, so he's watching a movie with his boy.
Cole is doing the right thing, and
He's watching Do the Right Thing, actually.
he's
That's how I heard it. I've never seen that movie.
I have not either. That's one of those ones I feel like, oh, I really should see it.
Yeah, it's Spike Lee's first movie, right? Is that his first one? His first feature.
Yes.
What are you drinking, Phil?
I am drinking Pamplemousse LaCroix.
Oh, nice.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking forget the name of it. It's an IPA.
Well, you have to tell me what it is.
It's I don't remember the name of it. It's a Modern Times. So I bought this like a sampler pack of Modern Times IPAs.
Okay.
And I think this one's called Dingo Magic, maybe.
Okay.
It's a juicy. It said juicy IPA, hazy juicy IPA, and it lives up. It's pretty smooth. Not a whole lot of bite to it. The pack also came with their Orderville IPA, which is like their one of their standard offerings. I think one called, I forget, a grapefruit session IPA and a West Coast IPA. So pretty broad spectrum of IPAs.
What is the percentage?
This one is, I believe, 7.2. You're so dumb.
Dude. So the Voodoo Ranger, Belgium, whatever, has the
Belgium.
Voodoo Ranger that is New Belgium. Yeah. Pretty much found. I mean, it's not found everywhere, but it's found anywhere that where they're trying to have a variety of beer. Like that's one of the ones that you can usually can find anywhere. And I like it because, Target. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I like it because it's usually you can get it for I'm going to turn my video off because I think it's acting weird. Usually you can get it on sale for 10 or 11 for a 6-pack. And it's 9%. And they just came out with I think it's a juicy hazy as well. And it's 9.5. And I think it tastes way better. And
nice.
I saw it at Bevmo. So okay, my fancy grocery store sells. I first saw it at my fancy grocery store in tall cans. But then I saw at Bevmo they had a 6-pack of it, and I was like, so.
Oh yeah, does that come in 12-ounce cans or the 16-ounce cans?
The regular one, the regular one, I feel like I see it in bottles more,
like 12-ounce
more
bottles.
often. Not. I don't think they're 20. Aren't
12.
they still 12?
I meant 12. I thought I said.
Oh, okay.
12. Anyway,
those are different numbers, but okay.
Yeah, they are. I think I said 12.
I think we have a recording of this.
Pretty sure I said 12-ounce bottles.
Okay.
20. I don't think beer comes in 20-ounce bottles. That's like a soda thing.
You
20
might
ounces is like a plastic bottle.
You may be right. It's 12, and then
yes,
pints are 16.
Yeah, it's
and
like
those are tall cans, right?
16.9 usually because it's like 500 milliliters.
And that's what a tall can is?
I think tall cans are usually 16 ounces, but the pint bottles are usually 500 milliliters, which is
very
like
annoying.
16.9 ounces. Maybe I'm thinking of water bottles again. I know 500 milliliters is like 16.9, but yeah. 16-ounce cans. Like a lot of the like a lot of fancy beers come in 4 packs of tall cans instead of 6 packs of regular cans.
Right. Which has got to be marketing, right?
Well, I think it's less beer.
Yeah. Right.
It's like 8 ounces less than a 6-pack of 12-ounce cans.
Somebody's got to do the math on this for us.
Well, it is because the 16 ounces. So you basically get, if you take the 4 extra ounces from each can, that gives you 1 can, a 5th can, and then 4 ounces. So you're missing 8 ounces.
Okay.
But I bought this 12-pack for $19.99.
Ooh.
So not bad.
But here's my issue with variety packs is I feel like with beer or with chips, it's like they're always like throwing in something that they want to get rid of that you're like,
I wouldn't buy it. Like I've seen the Stone variety packs and I always shy away from them, but
it's exactly
everything in this one sounded good, so I was like, I'll try that.
There's in the Stone ones, there's always like one that I really like, 2 that I'm like, okay, and then 1 that I'm like, no.
Yeah, the Stone, they always throw in like, I don't know, something dumb. The Stone one that's really good that I like a lot is the FML. Have you tried that? The Fear Movie Lions?
No.
It's a double IPA, and it usually comes in a 4-pack of tall cans.
Okay.
For like $13, maybe 12 or $13. So it's not cheap, but it's good. That one's freaking good. I like double IPAs a lot, though. That's my jam. And I don't even know the difference, to be honest. Other than it's double. There's double.
The difference between what?
Like an IPA and a double IPA. Which part of it is doubled is what
it's double is what it is.
I know, but it's not like 2 full IPAs put together.
Oh, this is interesting for some people. I find the just the concept of IPA, Indian Pale Ale.
Yep.
Fascinating, and I don't feel like I know. I'm sure you know more about it than me. Can you give like the Wikipedia version of like?
My understanding of it is that it was a beer created by the British, and it was like created for British soldiers in India.
Like, okay, keep going.
That's pretty much it.
Well, so there was something about like tell me if I'm wrong. There's something about like it being more hoppy means it could last on longer boat rides or something like that. Is that right?
Maybe. Yeah, hops were a preservative, this says. The hops hung around in the beer for so long that they lost their fruity flavor and left a bitter tasting beer. I guess it wasn't. I mean, it was probably made in Britain for people in India, like American, not
because of the longer boat ride.
Yeah, it was just a way of preservation, I guess, to get it to India in the 1800s.
Yeah, like the beer when they were making it like whatever the normal way is, like it was like going bad or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, it's on a boat like for too long, and then it goes bad before it gets to them. And then they tried different things, and they're like, oh, this lasts. And then people are like, well, okay, but it tastes like butt. And they're like, yeah, but it's not bad. And they're like, okay, fair enough. I'll drink it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I don't think they cared all that much.
Thank you for the beer.
Here's something interesting. Apparently, the double IPA was originated in Santa Rosa, California, in 1994. It's just like an extra hoppy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it says usually above 7.5. Triple IPA. Then there's the New England IPA or the hazy IPA or the juicy IPA, which came around in 2004. I think it's something to do with filtering. They didn't filter it, so it left more of like the fruity hoppiness in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm not a fan of, though, is a milkshake IPA. Have you had one of these things? Where they put lactose? It's like a lactose.
I have not had a milk.
They call it a milkshake. It's just
a milkshake IPA. Yeah. But I will say one of the only beers that was a very high percentage that I was like, I don't want to finish this, was, I think it was called like Dragon's Milk. And it was a milk stout.
Milk stout, yeah.
And I was like, dude, I can't. Oh my gosh. I did not like it. I did not like it. This is a great conversation for Cole to not be here for.
Yeah, Dragon's Milk I've had it and it's like fine, I guess, but I wasn't super into it. They have a barrel aged one, I guess. I prefer. Have you had Rasputin? Old Rasputin?
Yes.
I think those beers are often like compared to one another, or like I'll be like, try this one or this one.
Yeah, but it's not milky though.
No, it's not. It's just like it's a Russian Imperial Stout is what it is.
Yeah.
And that's way better, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
The lactose thing is weird, but it like as much as you don't like it in a stout, imagine how much more weird it is in an IPA. Because stouts are already like kind of creamy, and it's like adding milk to it's like chocolate milk versus like orange milk or like citrus milk. It just doesn't work.
You will appreciate this. I met with a guy like a couple weeks ago, and it was Sunday morning, and we met at a coffee shop, and he's not a coffee drinker, but he indulged me, and I said, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go order something, and I came out with a Nitro cold brew, and he looked. It was like 10 a.m. and he had a look of shock on his face, and he goes, and then he then his face went like blank, and he goes, did you order a beer? And like really he was trying to hold in like his disgust at the thought of somebody ordering a beer at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And I go, no, it's coffee. And then he was like even more thrown because he was like, what? Why is it? It looks like Guinness. And I go, yeah, it's like, and then it felt like, you know how when you tell a joke that then you have to explain?
Yeah.
It felt like exactly the same. Like then I was having to like explain why this thing is cool that he does not think is cool. And so it made it completely not cool because I'm having to explain it. Because he was like, the more I talked, the less he cared and, was into it. And so I just said, it is. It's like a Guinness, but it's not. It's just coffee.
I do not like Nitro cold brews. I don't know.
It's not my preference.
Like I went to the shop. Oh, remember I told you about this? I got that the banana cold brew.
Oh, yes.
And I think it would have been fine, except it was Nitro, which made me I was like, I just really don't want to eat this or drink it.
Or eat it, I bet. I was like,
or eat it, yeah. It's like, oh, the fact that it's Nitro just made it so much worse. I also don't understand, So I get really judgy when I go to a coffee shop and they put ice in the cold brew. I'm like,
dude,
why are you putting ice in the cold brew? What are you doing? I just know it's not going to be good.
I say no ice for 2 reasons. One, I don't want your freaking watered down.
Yeah.
Like, you're doing it on purpose. It
robs you of cold brew.
Yeah. Yes. But then 2, like, you're also robbing me of caffeine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it takes up space in the cup that could be devoted to coffee.
Yeah. It's freaking garbage.
Sure. You got to be careful if you're getting like a milk drink though, like a latte, like an iced latte, because if you don't get ice, it could be too much milk to coffee ratio, depending on how the place makes it. Like if they mix it in the cup, so some places will like mix it in a pitcher and then pour it into the cup. Like they'll mix the milk and the espresso together and then pour it over ice, which is a better way to do it in my opinion, because you can like weigh it out and get the recipe precise, but not everyone does that. Anywho, so that was a bad coffee experience that I had recently.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. Have you had a Queen Amman? It's a pastry that they have at a lot of coffee shops now.
I don't think so.
It's like I don't know what the origin of it is, but it's basically like imagine like a cross between like a croissant and baklava.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So
where it's like cooked in like a muffin tin, and then it has like some kind of sugar and butter all throughout it.
Oh yes,
yeah, that's
I have had this.
So I had that, and I shared it with my kids, and they also loved it.
Yes.
Which made me sad.
That you mean that they didn't?
That I had to share. They weren't like,
yeah,
oh, this is gross. You eat it.
Yes, please don't give me any more, and then you could eat the whole thing. Yeah, totally.
Too many mouths to feed.
Totally.
But it was pretty good. It was good.
Okay,
my brother-in-law used to work at a coffee shop, and he told me that this one time a lady came in and she wanted the Queen Amman, which is like it's spelled like it's like COUIGN or something, and then AMON. It's like 2 words, and so she called it a Coogan Almond, and she's like, "Can I get the Coogan Almond?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's the Queen Amman," and she's like, "Yeah, the Coogan Almond." She like kept repeating it incorrectly, like she was trying to correct him while he was also trying to correct her, which is a very funny scenario.
I just saw a TikTok of a guy saying, I don't know, like he was like, working retail is really hard because there are so many opportunities for me to be snarky and rude.
Oh yeah.
And I'm not supposed to. And then he said, I work at a coffee shop, and a woman came in and she goes like all flustered immediately without like any reason. She goes, I'll just have a drip copy, like that. And he goes, okay, would you like a light roast or dark roast? And then she said, do you have, or is your dark roast light? No, is your light roast dark? And he was like, how am I supposed to answer that question without sounding completely like an asshole?
Yeah.
And I was trying to think, like, I don't know what I would say. Like, I think I would laugh. I don't think I would be able to be like, if I was in that position. And then I actually thought, what would Aaron do? What would Aaron do in that position? You say, would you like light roast or dark roast? And she says, is your light roast dark? What would you say?
I would say, no, it's pretty light. Because I think I understand what she's asking, maybe. because like depending on where you go, like but if you think the light roast is dark, you're definitely not going to get the dark roast.
Yeah. The answer is light.
Yeah.
There's two choices. It's light roast or dark roast. And like, I mean, okay, maybe you just want to, you're just curious, but
you could be like, oh, how dark is the dark roast? Maybe like that makes more sense.
I guess.
Is it a French roast or is it like a medium dark roast?
But like, Pete's just straight up does not have a light roast.
Yeah.
Like they just don't.
Yeah.
But if you ask them, they won't say, this is our light roast. They might say, this is the lightest roast we have.
Right. But so like Starbucks has like their light roast, but their light roast is still pretty dark.
Yeah.
Like compared to like third wave stuff.
Totally. That's true.
Right. But it's not like a single origin, like first crack, super light.
But it is.
Thing,
it's, but like you can look at it and you go, it's
lighter.
Yeah.
But then again, like if you're knowing that, then you're going to say, okay, if the light is already dark, then I know the dark's going to be darker.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm not going to get the dark. It's like I either want super light or dark. I don't want light pretending to be dark.
Yeah. So I think if somebody said, I don't know why, if somebody said, would you like light roast or dark roast? And they said, is your light roast dark? I would say yes. Like just because yes. Yes. Because like why what answer are they looking for?
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Is your light roast dark? Yes.
It is. Like whatever you think in your head, whatever would compel you to ask that question.
Yeah.
I'm giving you the answer that I believe would compel you to ask that question.
Yeah, I don't even know. That is weird.
This is good. We're talking about all the things that Cole hates.
But I guess if she's like flustered, I don't know. That is just a weird question.
Yeah. I want to talk about the slum staying, but I was kind of hoping that Cole would get here, but I can start talking about it.
Let me tell you about a scenario that's happening to me currently.
Okay.
So I have this old drum set. I have a drum set, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking about selling it. And it's currently in storage at a family member's house, right? It's like in a whatever. They have a lot of room and I don't. So it's at their house. So this guy texts me and he asks me if I would want to sell it. The person whose house it's at. If I want to sell it because someone that he knows wants to buy them and donate them to a church. So he's like, how much do you want for it? And so I said,
what church?
So I was like, if the church wants them, like have them make an offer. And he's like, well, it's not the church. It's this guy who wants to buy them and donate them anonymously to the church. And I was like, okay, I was planning to list them for $500 for everything, for all the parts, which is like the drums, the hardware, cymbals, cymbal stands, the kick drum, like foot pedal thing. So a lot of like everything, right? And he goes, okay. He said, well, someone's here. I'm going to ask them to look at them and give me a number. He probably knows what you got. And that someone they want to donate them to the church. I was like, all right, cool. That's fine, whatever. And then he goes, they didn't know exactly what you had, so I'll have to trust you to get what they are worth and know that he's donating them to the church. And now I'm like, I don't want him to give them to the church. Why are you like, don't make me feel bad for asking for what I think is a fair amount of money. Like, I'm not the one that wanted to donate them to the church.
Yeah.
It wasn't my decision. Now you're like, why don't you don't want to donate them? No, I don't even like that church all that much.
There's a guy, I haven't really been paying attention to Craigslist as much, but back when I was like paying attention a lot, you start to notice like, oh, there are guys that are like on all the time, right?
Right.
Either buying or selling. And so there was this one guy who I only know this because I dealt with him. I was selling, I don't remember what the guitar was, and he was buying and selling guitars and he was claiming that it was for this some special needs music nonprofit.
Yeah.
Okay. So I remember seeing his ads like a bunch, like he's got a bunch of stuff for sale. And he's like 100% of the proceeds go to special needs music nonprofit. And I remember like seeing a guitar and like kind of, lowballing him.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, sorry, the price is firm because all the proceeds go to the special needs kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I was like, okay, I kind of feel bad, like, for even offering. All right. Yeah, okay, I get it. No, thank you. And then like a couple months later, I'm selling something and this guy lowballs me and I go, no, I'm sorry. I can't. And he's like, well, and then he tells me, well, it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
I run a special needs program, music program. And I was like, it's the same guy, but now he's flipping it on me. Like,
yeah.
It was one thing when it was like I was coming at him and he was making me feel bad for coming at him, but now he's coming at me and he's making me feel bad for saying, no, this is what I'm selling.
Yeah.
I'm not, but like, I was thinking, dude, is this a scam or is he just like, does he just roll like this? Like, cause he must be giving this line over and over and over.
But that's the thing. It's like, okay, like I get it, but it's not like you were asking for donations and I was like, yeah, let me donate to you. And then I'm like, oh, by the way, you owe me money for that. It's like you came to me to ask to buy it and I gave you what I thought was a fair price. So then don't be like, oh, it's for charity. Like, yeah, I give to charity, but I don't know your charity. Or like, like I'm not obligated to also support the charities that you care about.
Right.
If you cared more about them, you would pay full price.
You know what? Okay. That kind of reminds me of, okay, tell me why I'm wrong for thinking this way.
Okay.
I feel like a bad person that I've always been bothered by any time you see anywhere. And if you donate now, so-and-so will match.
Yeah.
Every dollar you put in.
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't hey, Bill Gates.
Up to whatever, right? They always say
right. Yeah.
This. Yeah.
Hey, Bill Gates, you're gonna match my money. Why don't you just put in the money?
Yeah, because they're like, we'll match up to $1 million, knowing full well that you're only gonna get like 30,000 in donations, right?
Yeah.
So I think it is. No, I agree with you, because what it is they're trying to say like we're donating $1 million, but they're not. And they know they're not going to, but they can throw out that number knowing it'll never get reached.
But yeah,
and all people remember is like this person $1 million. Like that's what they hear.
Exactly. That's
so
exactly.
The marketing is like, yeah, it's manipulative for sure.
So it really is about people hearing their name, and the word donate, and the word $1 million or whatever.
Yeah, because what they should really say is like, all right, we're going to donate $1 million no matter what.
Yeah.
But if other people donate more than that, then we'll match it past that, or like whatever.
Yeah, and I mean? Usually it is something like that. Usually it's like, okay, so and so donated $10,000, and on top of that, they're going to match every blah blah blah. But that still sounds super gross to me.
I feel like they're trying to like. I understand what they're trying to do. Is like it's another motivating factor.
Does it work?
It's like if you do it in the next hour, then we'll double it. We'll match it.
So yeah, I guess we need to talk to somebody from NPR or something,
because they know if you don't donate right now, you're not going to remember to come back and do it later. Like,
right, but
they have to get you on the hook immediately.
The person who's like, oh, I actually might donate. Are they like, I was on the fence, but now, oh, you're gonna double my money to the cause of like, orphan kittens or whatever. Like, oh, well, now I really want to donate my money because they're going to get twice as much money if I donate this much. Like, does that really work?
But maybe it's the person who's like, yeah, I'm going to donate. I'll do it later. I'll do it like this evening when I get home from work. and they know that if you have that plan, you're probably not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're like, okay, for the people who are already going to donate, if we can like give them a reason to donate right now instead of later, then they're more likely to actually do it.
Yeah, and I know that
I think
like,
those are the people they're after, not people who are like on the fence of giving at all.
Right.
It's weird though.
But that's a different.
Yeah.
But that's a different motive.
Yeah,
because it's like there's that, like I'm talking about the third party, and you're talking about like the organization who's just wants people to donate. Period.
Yeah.
But like, so what you're talking about is
no,
like,
the other person who's doing it, they're just trying to look good.
Yeah.
I don't think they care about any of that other stuff.
Right. What you're talking about is like the reason why NPR will do like,
yeah, like on their charity drives,
they'll be like, drive. if you donate in the next 20 minutes, you get a free tote bag.
Yeah.
And if you donate, and it's always like it's like it's always conditional, and they never say like, hey, whenever you donate, you get a tote bag. It's always like,
yeah, right now.
It has to be right now. But the urgency compels people to actually do it. Whereas, like you said, when I get home,
because once you turn the radio off, you're focused on work or cooking dinner or whatever. You're like,
right,
you're not thinking,
right.
I better go donate to NPR real quick. Got to get that tote bag.
Gotta get that tote. Oh, wait, did you say tote bag?
They should get a tote bag that has Nina Totenberg on it.
Ooh, yeah.
That would be good.
Hey, Aaron, say Blues Driver.
Blues Driver?
Oh, 69 points for Cole.
Oh, yeah. He's still connecting. He's not there yet.
Oh.
It's a Blues Driver. Is it a Blues Driver?
It is a Blues Driver. 69 points for Cole.
I knew it.
Yes.
Did you guys hear me say what up very loudly?
Yeah, we
no, it was like kind of
it was like,
crackly.
What up?
Oh. So we just went and saw Sonic 2 and had the entire theater to ourselves. I don't know.
Sonic as well?
Well, you said you saw Sonic 2,
Sonic
so
2.
I was wondering what else you saw.
Saw Sonic and Sonic 2. Oh. We saw
Maverick.
Knuckles and Tails too.
Knuckles.
We haven't seen Maverick yet.
I haven't either. I heard Maverick, they're getting sued.
What?
Yeah. So apparently the person who wrote the article that inspired the original movie is now suing the producers of Maverick because he said, it's still his idea. He should get like credit for the follow-up too.
Wait.
I'm sure they'll pay him some money.
Some butthole wrote an article.
Yeah, some dude in the 80s wrote an article about Top Gun pilots that became the source material or inspiration for Top Gun the movie. So I'm sure he got paid for it back then.
Yeah, but like he didn't invent the fact that 1% of all fighter pilots go to get trained together.
Yeah, I'm not saying
that's like if the guy, remember that viral video about how Daniel was actually the bad guy in Karate Kid?
Yeah,
it's like if he were to sue them for making whatever it's called.
But yeah, but that's right, because it's not like it's not like this guy made up a story. He just reported on actual events.
Yeah, it's like if I wrote an article about how I think Navy SEALs are super awesome, and then somebody's like, you know what, I'm gonna make a movie about Navy SEALs, and I'm like, no, that's my idea. No. I think they're awesome.
Yeah.
No, you don't get to do that. Like, they are objectively awesome. Everybody knows it.
Yeah.
So you can't
say Jane.
Well,
I didn't like her for some reason.
Cole, you missed so much beer and coffee talk.
Oh, I'm glad I missed it then.
Oh, also, Phil, I was looking on I searched for the drums that I have. There's a set on Guitar Center used, the exact same picture, color, and everything for $1,300.
Okay.
So I should ask for more now, right?
Yes. You know what? Your charity needs to cough up.
You got to step it up, man.
Oh, wait. It's not the charity. It's just the guy.
It's a guy who wants to give it to someone else.
Wants to give it to him.
Freaking jerks.
Okay, so Cole, I'm glad you're here. Is now the time for me to talk about my slum staying?
Yes.
You don't want to talk about NAMM?
Oh, talk about NAMM.
I'm just kidding. Nothing exciting happened at NAMM.
It's giving some man to talk about.
Except everyone did like my name badge that said butthole on it.
Obviously.
I'm sure it was a big hit.
Yeah, it was a big hit. I would go. I walked around with Ryan and Tim a lot. Ryan and Steve a lot, and they like know people, you know.
Yeah.
So I would just be kind of like hanging out while they're talking to people, and then everyone would be like, "That's the best one."
And you're like, but I'm a legitimate member of the media as well.
No, I didn't say that because I don't think that.
Yeah.
Or care.
I snuck in here
with being regarded as that.
Remember our first year at NAMM when we cared about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good times.
Yep.
It's pretty.
And remember,
it was fun. It was definitely small.
Remember Aaron was in a wheelchair too? That was nuts.
Dude, I was in a wheelchair. Remember I went into the porta potty and then Phil stole my wheelchair?
That was like an actual, Phil committed a literal hate crime against his friend.
I think it was, wasn't it the,
it was at the taco party.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
I want to say it was a few of the Chase Bliss staff watched me giggling and rolling the wheelchair away. And they were looking at me like, what an asshole.
What a wormwood.
And then I'm like, no, he's a friend of mine.
It's okay. I have black friends. I got a pass. He gave me the pass.
Yeah,
say it.
I'm allowed to say.
I'm allowed to say it.
I'm allowed to say crip.
I think everyone. Oh, I saw this TikTok of this dude who was like, I was in McDonald's or whatever, and my cousin was there, and I said, "What up, cuz?" And then the guy behind me was a crip, and he was like, "You can't say that," because that's like their word, I guess. And so he was gonna fight him over it.
What?
Yeah, dude.
It seems a little too broad. You can't just own that, right?
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he was like, you can't say that when you're in their territory.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, if they don't properly advertise their territory, though, I feel like that's on them, you know.
Yeah.
If a certain due diligence,
he's just enforcing the copyright.
Yeah.
If you don't do that, then it expires. So.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's like that's like unenforceable. That's like Frosted Flakes, you know, like it's describing,
right?
You know,
true.
I don't know.
You can't copyright Frosted Flakes or trademark it.
Well, you just can't because it's describing what it actually is. I think so. That's why, like I don't know this. We'll need to get my brother on to talk about it, but like all the generic, like Malto Meal always had weird names for all the other cereals, but they could just call their Frosted Flakes Frosted Flakes.
Oh, nice.
I think because they're just
or like
flakes that are frosted. Yeah, exactly.
It's flakes of corn,
like Top
Cheerios.
Gun.
Cheerios, they have to call them Toasty-O's.
Yeah,
Toasted O's.
And Lucky Charms, they have to call.
I don't know.
Marshmallow Mateys.
Marshmallow Mateys, yeah.
Mateys?
Yeah, they're like
they're pirate. It's like pirate themed.
Nautical themed, I was thinking. But yeah, pirate is correct.
At first I thought you said
Marshmallow
maybes.
Mateys. There's fruit. What were the Fruit Loops called?
Fruit Rings.
That can't possibly be true.
Ring things. I don't know. Cole,
did you guys
watch
have
the game tonight? Did you watch the game tonight?
No, I watched Sonic 2. But then I just checked Twitter. Oh, by the way, Johnny, the Avalanche won tonight.
Oh yeah.
So they're going to the final.
They won in overtime.
Yeah, and I heard
6-5.
I saw people talking about how on the broadcast, it wasn't even one of the commentators. It was like the rules guy or whatever dropped the S-bomb.
Oh, really?
On the broad. Yeah, like when they scored the final goal. So that's like the audio that's going to be with it forever. It's pretty awesome. Amazing. But yeah, it was a pretty crazy goal too. Guy got his own rebound, right?
Yeah. So a shot at the goal. He tipped it with what would have been a high stick, but it didn't go in. It bounced off the goalie, and then he like tapped it in.
So did they review it as a high stick?
I think so, but it was above the goal, but not above his shoulder. So like it's a legal play.
Oh, okay.
But it wouldn't. But
if it had gone in the goal, exactly.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Cool. It's like a very, not really.
Yeah, that's a very
rule, but it's like, it's funny. Like you're almost glad.
It is weird that high stick is defined differently depending on what happens with it. I mean, it's just like you can kick the puck, but you can't kick it into the goal. You know.
Yeah, that's true. Man.
Speaking of hockey, I broke my first stick last week at our game.
Oh dang!
Blocking a shot. It wasn't even anything cool like shooting.
Are you playing guitar?
Oh, I'm
driving.
I was like, I thought you were in the car. It's all right. Is that a sign? Go ahead, Phil.
I'm driving in my car playing guitar.
Tell us about the slum sting.
No. Cole, continue. Cole is telling something.
That's all I have. I broke my stick.
Oh.
And people are like, oh man, sticks are expensive. And I was like, well, this is like some 10-year-old stick that I bought on Craigslist. So it was not expensive. So no need to worry.
Nice.
So let's hear about the slum sting, Phil.
Okay, so it is fully operational, for one. It sounds
operational.
It sounds super awesome. The E and B string do not stay in tune. So I know I have not messed with the intonation, and I was just starting to do that now. Could that be the issue, or could it be the $25 Bixby knockoff?
I mean, intonation's not going to affect whether or not it stays in tune.
Okay.
Because that's tuning stability.
Like a really poorly cut nut could cause both of those problems.
That's true.
Have you checked your nut? Have you been able to make your nut this year?
It shouldn't really be moving at the nut, though, right? If you're just like, I mean, I guess it relieves tension and stuff, so it could catch, but.
Yeah, maybe, I guess the nut wouldn't affect intonation that much, but it would if it was like, you haven't done anything to the nut, have you?
No.
Yeah,
you gotta do
probably
at least something to the.
Because sometimes if you don't like ramp it, if you reshape it like the grooves, and don't ramp them properly, then they can cause like buzzing and intonation issues, I guess. But I would think you're just saying tuning stability, or you're also having intonation issues.
I have not messed with the intonation at all, so I don't know if that has anything to do with anything.
I mean, the Bixby, obviously any kind, especially a Bixby, that's going to affect the tuning stability a lot, especially with new strings. Like it's going to take a while for it to settle in. And every time you tune one string up, everything else gets detuned, right?
Right.
But yeah, maybe that big, well, I would expect even the cheapest Bixby, like assuming you're not moving it, would eventually be stable, right? Like maybe the spring is too weak or not or too strong or something, but it would have like some equilibrium point.
Yeah, depending on like how hard you're playing, I guess.
Yeah.
So the EADG are starting to like be stable, but it's the high E and B that like when I strum for like 5 minutes and then I tune again, they're like a little bit off.
Did you just not wrap them around the tuning post tightly enough?
Yeah, you got to get some locking.
Because I mean, it's all the wound strings that are staying in tune, and all the unwound strings that aren't, right?
Well, the G is not wound, so there goes that theory.
Well, not really.
But okay, but back to things.
It could be those strings slipping at the tuning knob, though.
Back to things that are slightly more interesting to talk about anyway. These electronics are way over my head.
Yeah.
It is what do they call that?
Option
choice
paralysis.
Yes, option paralysis.
Is that when it feels like there's a demon on your chest?
Yeah.
No, that's sleep paralysis.
So if you recall, there's
some demon pooping on your chest.
What?
Just crashed on your chest.
The demon's in a hammock and you cut a hole in the bottom of the hammock.
Just demon.
You guys seen that documentary about the McAfee guy?
Demon in Poo Corner.
Have you guys heard about him? The guy who founded.
I know he's like
McAfee,
crazy, or so had
like the antivirus thing. He moved to like Belize or something like that.
Yeah.
And he basically has like his own little army, but then he also like pays women to do exactly what you're describing. And pretty freaking weird. There's a documentary about him, and that bomb drops like halfway, no pun intended, like halfway through the movie, and I was like, whoa, he just became weird in a whole new way that I did not even predict. Anyways, Phil, try to describe your electronics for us.
Okay, so there's a 4-way rotary switch, and then the 2 knobs are push-pull, and then there's a arcade button kill switch, which I just remembered. I'm pretty sure I got the idea from Ryan, like Ryan Burke, enemy of the show. That he did that to I don't remember what the guitar was.
I got it from Machine Gun Kelly. He's my favorite guitarist.
Ew. Does he really have
kill switch?
Is it an arcade button?
No, it's like a pickup selector switch. It just kills it in one position.
Oh yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Isn't that what it is? Because he has a single pickup.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if I can find the controls. So there's 2 humbuckers, and so I know there's phase and out of phase, and then there's what else would there be? Well, obviously
series and parallel.
Yeah.
You should just find a little paper that explains it all.
Yeah.
Like both humbuckers in series?
It could be the 2 coils in series or parallel. I wonder what they would sound like in parallel. I mean, they would sound kind of like a middle, like one of the 2 or 4 positions on a Strat, maybe, because they're reverse number, reverse polarity. Though. Yeah,
that'd be interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Too bad we don't have the paperwork to see what it's actually doing.
Yeah, that would have been awesome if we had that.
Okay.
We really tied this all up.
Okay, here it is.
All right.
You're acting as if there's like a book that you're searching through for the right page or something. It's just a single page. It's like almost the only words on the entire paper.
No, the book is Instagram because he sent it to me over Instagram chat. Okay. So the rotary switch, 1 is bridge, 2 is neck bridge parallel, 3 is neck, 4 is neck bridge series. Then neck volume knob is neck normal phase or out of phase, and tone is bridge normal phase out of phase. And that one only works in 2nd and 4th rotary position.
Wait, it only works when you're using both pickups? Is that what it is?
Though
probably doesn't let you put them out of phase when it's in series, maybe.
Right.
What were the 4 positions? I thought it was
No. Parallel or series.
Yeah, because it's bridge, parallel.
Oh yeah, it's because it's only.
It only
those
works.
are the only ones where it's 2 pickups.
Yes.
Like
yes.
the phase is meaningless when there's only 1 pickup anyways. So makes sense.
Okay. Now, all that being said, tell me,
because it's the phase of the entire pickup. It's not the phase of the coils.
Yeah.
I know, like, so I fiddled with it, and so I'm some of the settings, like the volume dropped like substantially.
Yep, that's what you get without a phase.
So tell me why I want that.
Because you want the out of phase sound.
Different. It's just a different sound.
Drop. It's just like that's what you.
That's just a byproduct.
Yeah, that's what it costs to get the sound, the out of phase sound.
I know, and I could just turn the volume up, but then yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's like saying when I turn off my distortion pedal, it gets quieter. Why would I want it to be quieter? And it's like, well, it just is less distorted too, like.
I think it's just a factor of like the more options you have, like the less likely they are to all be compatible.
Yeah, like if you've put together the most ridiculous guitar on the planet, and then you're like, why aren't these all super practical options that I have? You realize how idiotic that sounds?
No.
That's exactly what you're doing.
Why is this 10th pickup option kind of weird?
Exactly.
I think it's a legitimate question to ask.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
But you said, why would I want this? Not why does it happen? Why
would
I want
this? Yeah, like why would you want any of that?
Okay, but wait a minute. But people want out of phase though. Like that's a thing that people go, ooh, I like the option.
Sound, yeah.
Cool sound. Yeah. Just like people want low output pickups. Like it's a very cool sound. Or people want like mismatched pickups a lot of times in 2 pickup guitars. They want pickups that are very different output,
Well, that's what
because it changes the way. No, it's not, because that's a guitar that has 3 options and one of them is very different. You have a guitar that has 12 options and one of them is very different.
These are mismatched pickups is what I'm saying.
What are they though?
No.
Yes.
If they were mismatched,
in terms of like the phase.
Are you saying they're actually mismatched pickups?
They do not match.
If they were mismatched, yeah, but the output of them is.
But you're just saying they're not the same, and Cole's saying like they don't work.
I'm saying mismatched output. Like one is a lot louder than the other one.
I'm almost certain they do not have the same output.
They're not.
Then them being out of phase would have less of an effect.
Oh.
Then what you would have said is, when I'm only using one of the pickups, it's a lot quieter than when I'm using the other one by itself. But if you have 2 pickups and one of them has way higher output than the other one, then combining them out of phase is just going to make the higher output one dominate.
Yep. What do you think about that, Phil?
Well,
sorry, I had to mute myself right after I dropped that bombshell on your guys' faces.
It's all right.
What do I think about it? I think Cole.
I think you have a really cool guitar that you knew much of it would not be like super practical, obviously. Yeah. Like you drilled a hole through this guitar, Phil. And they're like, well, one of them's a little, you have an arcade button for a kill switch.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of what I did.
You got to just embrace the weird.
Remember how you were so embarrassed to say that you had done that? And then I drilled a hole that was like way bigger than the one you did right after. Like, that was amazing. That was the best part of these Slims things.
We need to wait. Cole, is yours? I can't remember if yours is done or not.
Oh yeah, it's done. Well, I might like the pickup selector switch or the rotary switch I have on there. I need to swap it out. Ed Chu sent me a few red knobs to put on there. I got to just find one that I like, and I might switch out I like the speaker knobs on the volume and tone, unfortunately, but I have some red ones to switch out for that too. But honestly, still the best part of mine, weirdly, is just the edge of the pick guard. I colored it red with a Sharpie, and it looks amazing. Like the angled like the chamfer on the pick guard. It looks so good.
Okay, I'm going
Mine I put together.
I'll remind you guys what it looks like.
Have yet to fix the wiring on it. So.
Really?
I think it's just like it's all smashed in there, and something's touching something that's not supposed to touch.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I'm sure. Yeah, that's exactly.
I'm sure it's a very simple fix that I had.
It's like touching the cavity.
Had time to do. Yeah.
And those are the worst problems because you pull it apart.
Yeah, and you're like, oh,
it works, and then as soon as you screw it back in, it stops.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So another thing is, the Bixby arm is. It definitely feels like it's sitting too high, and this is the first guitar with a Bixby I've ever owned, so maybe I'm wrong, but like I don't know how you'd put this in a guitar case.
Yep, I have no solution for you.
Okay.
So what did you say, Phil?
I said the guitar, the Bixby arm feels way too high.
What, can't you turn the arm?
It looks way too high too. It looks hilarious. Like I would think that you would have to offset it with the spring tension. The spring is just like too tense or too long, I guess.
Yeah. So one of you said we'll just cut a chunk of the spring out, and I think that would.
It would. I mean, it would pull like it would. The sort of equilibrium point would be the arm would be down lower. Right. There might be other like unintended consequences because the spring goes to like a flat point on both ends, and if you do that, then it would go to a point.
Right.
That would like
that's my
in theory
concern.
Would like dig in or something like that. I don't know.
You might just have to buy a new spring.
Yeah. But have you thought about that, Phil?
Well, buying a new spring, how do I know that buying a new spring won't just give me the exact same result?
Because you can measure and make sure that it's shorter.
I mean, that's the risk with putting a ridiculous knockoff Bixby on your guitar, right?
Yeah, the spring is not a ridiculous knockoff. Remember, I lost the spring and I had to buy a new one.
Oh, well, that's your freaking problem. Obviously, the spring that came with it wasn't meant to be swapped out with one from a normal Bixby.
Maybe.
I mean, you have literal proof staring you in the face, right? No, maybe.
Okay, or you know what else would change everything?
Like really light tension strings.
Yeah, like thicker gauge strings. I bet would change the. Would
do you have like
do
sevens
something
on it right now?
No,
it's not going to make a huge difference. And the thing looks ridiculous. Like, have you ever heard? Have you ever seen?
Issue.
Like, does everyone who plays a Bixby have the exact same gauge strings on their guitar? Because none of them look like yours do, where the arm is sticking up at a 45-degree angle.
It's not 45.
It's 45.
It's not. It's not low for sure.
Well, that's on like, what are you talking about?
Listen to this.
45 degrees, like from the guitar.
And now listen to this.
What is that? Are those foot switches on a pedal?
No, that was my kill switch.
Oh,
can you
just focus here, Phil?
Can't you just rotate the arm though when you put it in the case?
Okay, so so the tension on the rotator
hit the guitar body.
It will rotate. It has to rotate down and around, and it will. Here, I'll do it, and I'll send a picture.
You're saying it will, but you're saying it as if it won't. Like it will do it. It will do the thing that I want it to do, but it will do it. But what? What's the problem? Just to use your words, because people can't see what you're doing right now. And I also can't see what you're doing right now.
No, I guess that's an okay solution. I don't.
All right.
Why do you complain about problems, and then when somebody gives you a solution, you don't like it?
It's not that I don't like the solution. I'm wondering what normal Bixby people do.
They don't buy a ridiculous $20 Bixby and then swap a spring out from another one from a different design. No, that's not something they do.
Okay, well,
if you're trying to say what do normal anything people do, it's not what you have done on this guitar. That's the answer.
I would just like to start from what a normal Bixby person does.
That went out the window long ago, Phil.
Try moving the spring around, like rotate it, smash it. I don't know. See if you can put it between two books for overnight. Shrink it down a little bit.
See, I like Aaron is coming up with solutions.
Also,
here.
I think like Bixby makes different sizes of springs, and you might just have the long one and need the short one.
Have you thought about getting the short one, Phil?
I have not. I should think about that.
Next time you're on the bus, think about getting the short one.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Cole who rides the bus, or doesn't anymore. I mean,
no, I don't. They actually canceled my bus route. It was kind of a bummer.
Well, you know,
freaking COVID. Canceled Biden. Friendship.
Yep.
Oh, is it really? Okay. I mean, I don't know when you guys started.
Say it. Everybody say it.
Thanks for friendship.
All right.
You don't just say friendship, though.
We don't.
Weirdo.
Friendship. Yeah, we do. He asked the question and we say friendship.
Yeah, and then
friendship.
After that, then you say the whole thing.
Oh, thanks for friendship.
Small